welcome everyone to the press conference of My Brother, a Swedish show presented in the competing in the international competition. I'm very glad to welcome the whole team of the show. So Sanna Lenken, the director, Amanda Jönsson, the actress, Karin Arrhenius, the writer, and Anna Wallmark, the producer. Welcome to you all. And my first question would be for you, Karin, and you, Anna. Karin, when you started writing, what was the first idea that you had to create this story? And Anna, what did you see in this project that made you want to invest in it?
Okay, should I start? Yeah. It's a good question, because when you ask it, I remember thinking, this is going to be really hard and really complicated, and a lot of weird and not so smooth things are happening in the story. And I said to myself, if we're going to make this, I want to stay true to that odd and not so charming character within Jana, and also in understanding the logics and about how things happen. So trying to keep some kind of integrity. Because when you write scripts, it's very easy to start explaining and following rules and making things a bit smoother. But I thought we have to be hard, and it might not work, but if it doesn't work, so that's the case. Yeah.
So when I read about this book, and a friend of mine said, I think this might be a project for you, Anna. I didn't know I was searching so much for a project with a strong female character, Jana, that has all the feelings of a human being. So I think that's, I've been looking for a story, also set up in the north where I'm from, and to speak about love, fear, and courage, and also about siblings and how to confront your past to move on, actually. And I think this had it all.
And Amanda, how did you get involved in this project, and what did you like about your character and her relationship to her brother?
Yeah, actually, when I was asked to audition for the part as Jana Kippo, I was actually already playing her on stage in the same story. So I was very happy about auditioning for it, and I met Sanna, and we have worked together before, so we know each other and could almost immediately start working with the character. What was the other question?
What did you like about her relationship with other characters, but especially her brother? What do you find interesting in that?
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting to see siblings and the love between them, because we almost never see it. We see a woman and a man meeting together, and the love between a mother and a daughter, and now there is this sibling story that is very touching. And in the novels, it's explained that they can sort of hear each other's thoughts, and because they know each other so well and they've been through the same things in their life. So that was quite interesting to just investigate that sort of relationship. Yeah.
And did you change things between the stage, the play, and the TV show?
Yeah, a bit, but I could use a lot of the work that I had done in the theater, because I was very involved in the Jana Kippo Universa and her feelings and thoughts, and but maybe it's more like the outer omständigheter.
Circumstances.
The outer circumstances that or like what you see, like my body, I was like more hunchbacky on the stage and like moving a bit odd, or how to say it. But I remember one time you told me, Sanna, when we were shooting, you were like, now it's too much. Now we're on the theater. And that was, it was good that you were so direct. But you can still, I think the ones that saw me doing Jana Kippo at stage, they recognize her. Like there's a sense of her in the TV series too, yeah.
And Sanna, how did you work on the visual aesthetic of the show?
This story was a challenge because it's both social realism, but then it's almost like not a saga, but it's a heightened story. So it's like a mixture between realism and some what do you say, skröna? Like absolutely not a fairy tale.
No,
it's not
saga.
a fairy tale.
Saga.
But it's not. Some of it's not realistic. All the characters are drawn quite far. Jana Kippo, the woman who has cancer, the brother. Everyone is drawn quite far away. And I'm used to work a lot with social realism. So for me, it was a challenge to find the characters of these people and to make it believable. The most important for me is to make the relationships believable. But we used, with the visual, we are shooting on locations we were really looking hard for locations that gave us the visuals. So we were very picky about which houses, forest, the landscape. And it gives so much to be in that context, to have the snow around you and to have the freezing coldness like everywhere. The only sad thing is that we imagine the story with snow on the trees because it's beautiful. You know, when you see the forest with the snow, but it's melted actually, which I guess it's the climate change. So it's very cold up north, but in the beginning it was extremely cold, but then in the end the snow was melting horribly for a TV show that has to have snow all the time. So we put a lot of snow in trucks and came to set and put it down, and then it melted and then back again, and it was exhausting. Yeah.
Any questions? You're gonna have a...
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations. This is an extraordinary series. I've been reviewing television for 50 years, and I've hardly ever seen any series this good. Oh, and I think it's the best series here by far.
Oh, wow.
So just to tell you.
Thank you.
Great work.
Thank you.
A couple of questions. One, it tells some very strong truths about the family and also about town life, small town life, and I'm wondering what's the reaction in Sweden to this? And the second question is, it's a veritable sort of a laboratory for how to do flashbacks. And each flashback seems to open up new things. In the second episode, it opens up the whole idea of what was Jana doing for those 30 years, which we hadn't even thought about. So I just wondered if that was a real conscious strategy in terms of how to use them.
Should I answer the first one, and then you can maybe answer the... when it was released in Sweden, it has been a big public success. So a lot of people have watched it in Sweden. And it's like some people are angry about, up north, we are not alcoholic, all of us. We are not sleeping with our daughters. It's disgusting. I mean, but then it's also a big part that, no, this is fiction. And if you're from a small town, you recognize, I'm from a small town, and you recognize that everyone in the town knows everything about each other. And alcoholism or incest or the traumas that she goes through, it can be anywhere. So it will be, I actually love to read audience reactions. So I've been on Facebook reading people arguing. So someone, we are not alcoholics, and then someone says, but God, it's fiction, stop this. And they start, and I like when people are reacting. That's a good thing for a TV show, that they start to react. But I've been a lot up north because my boyfriend is from up north, and I think there's some truth in the way they speak, because it's more silent up north. It's more, they don't have to be social in the way that if you're in a big city, you try to be, social and smile and so on. And there's some integrity, I think, up north, that you don't speak if you don't have anything to say. And I really like that a lot.
Maybe you can say Karin, and then
And something about the flashbacks and the memories that comes back to her. We did work a lot with that, because this is sort of a mystery drama in a way. I mean, it's about a woman who returns to her her home village and where she hasn't been for 20 years or so, and it's as if she has tried to close that part of her life off. But as she returns, she has to face and confront her pains and traumas and memories. And we wanted to sort of take the audience in the hand, and through her seeing and remembering, we also get invited in the story. And it's also, but it was a very delicate thing, because the story is about slowly unfolding and revealing the story, the mystery and what the pain and everything that's happened. You cannot move on too quickly, but you have to give little glimpses, not too much, not too little, and so they are it's very delicate. We worked hard with it, and also, as I don't know, maybe you have seen 2 episodes and not 4 episodes, but of course, as we move on through the whole series, we get more and more pieces of the story until it sort of just opens up in a rush, and when she and we understand and remember. It was fine to sort of be together with Jana to see and understand. I'm not sure I answered your question properly, but
I can also say, like, from the
these scenes and writings, because I like to write. I write always with very little dialogue. I try to keep as much out as possible. So what you do say has to be very precise, and what you do show in a flashback or memory has to be very precise. And they were moving around. Should we say this, or is that too much? It's a millimeter work.
I said, as a producer, from my angle, because it's a character-driven drama, mystery drama, it was very, when we worked with this, we could also help it up for a little bit, like mystery, to have like something to keep the audience wanting to watch forward.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for this show, which is great. I am always impressed, and even most when it's well done, like yours, with the manner that Nordic show handle with relationships and coldness. There is that kind of warmth, talking about siblings or every relationships, and there is that coldness outside, which is so cold. How do you, I'm not sure I'm being clear, but how do you deal with that? Because it seems so very much easier to direct a show in Provence, for example, talking about siblings, that in up north, which is, how do you deal with that? With the white of the snow and the warmth of the feelings when they are?
Yeah. You're perfectly right that it would have been lovely to be on an island outside, like being Cannes or being Bretagne or somewhere else. But it was also, I understood when I read the book book. And then when we started to work, I knew it would be a physical challenge. But as you asked about the visual, it gives so much to be up north. It gives so much for the atmosphere, and it's also a part of Sweden. I mean, we use the snow, and I think snow is beautiful. It's also hard to shoot with snow because it's so white, and if the sunlight, sometimes we had sun, we don't like sun because then it gets so bright. And we wanted, our wish was to get really nice sunset because then it can be so beautiful with the pink sky and the snow. But we were a bit unlucky because it was always sunny, cold, but the sun was right there. And it's not very nice if you want to have this mystery, like this feeling. So we really worked around the sun. And then it's also dark most of the time. So you really have to push the days. I don't know if it was light 5 hours a day you had sunlight, and then it was dark. So it really affected you both psychologically and physically. But I think it gave something to the story because it's where it is. The author of the book, she's from up north, and it's very much. I think it gave the TV series something that it really needed. But don't go there shooting, if I can recommend you. You're very tired afterwards.
Yeah, it's sort of a blessing and a curse, the weather circumstances, because it gives you a lot. And you need to, when you deal with that kind of coldness, you have to like sharpen your senses. Yeah. And for Jana as a character, she is like very sharp in a way, but it was like sometimes really heavy when we were shooting on me skiing. I think I stood on that pair of skis, because you also needed to like go around like long, far ways because we don't want to ruin the snow. So I'm like, okay, I'm going there. But yeah, I love to be up north, and I love when I love like real winter. Yeah.
But I can tell you it was lovely to go home to the hotel room, warm hotel, and have a warm shower in the end of the day.
Yes.
It was, but I think I said this yesterday, as a director my most important thing is that I have to listen to the actors and focus a lot. So I'm very focused all the time to listen to them. And that was also a challenge because when it's freezing cold, you start to think about that it's freezing cold instead of what Amanda says. So I always had to like push myself to really listen to the actors. Yeah, it's beautiful as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. I was wondering because I didn't understand. So you adapt from the book, but there is a play. Did you work also with the play adaptation, or you just stay focused on the book? And if so, what was the most difficult part for you to adapt the book to a TV series? Thank you.
Okay, so no, I did not adapt. I did not write the play. Also, the play is actually because this book that we have adapted is one of 3 books in a trilogy, and I think that the play is it 2 or
it's
3?
all
3
the
books, so
them,
it's all together. So we just did book 1. I think that the big challenge is that it's as always with literature, it's in a novel you can be abstract, you can be poetic, you can be incoherent and have lots of different perspective, and it can give a value to the story. Whereas when you write for the script, you have to be very. What I actually tell here, that is what's going to be the story. I cannot tell 4 different things, and I cannot have all the reasonings, feelings going in all directions. And yet, all these different perspectives that are in the book is what creates the core and the soul, so you do need them. But I think in order to keep that core and soul of the book, I also had to move away from the book, reducing very much, taking out very much, rewriting, but then again to come back to find the maybe the same, hopefully the same soul that's in the book. So like in the book, John has a different story, and Bror is not there a lot of the time because he's in a home for alcoholics, so he's not really there very much. But yeah, it's hard. I don't really know how we.
And it's also written in
a
dialect with an
yeah,
accent.
it's written in dialect, very special language. Also, you may think this series is dark and has a lot of pain and misery, but the book is, I would say, has much more of that. So we had to, I mean, there's lots of
reduce
yeah, very much reduce. So because there is a thin line between darkness and misery. We didn't want misery. We want to confront the pain and the darkness, but still give. I think also maybe we've added some kind of humor and light and hope. Like Bror looking at his squirrel in the tree or whatever. You need little details. But I don't mean to be untrue to the book, but you have to be untrue to be true sometimes. I've done a few adaptations and it's really different, but this is a kind of book that was really challenging. It was hard.
Would you adapt the other books?
I don't know. No. Well, I don't think so. Well, maybe you will go on with it, but
Another question?
we will see.
One question again about the North, because I'm very intrigued about that. Why the North? Was it in the novel, in the original novel, or is it a question of your life? Some of you come from the North, or we have the impression that it's some kind of way of, to have a good way to more isolate your characters, because of these wild environment.
I mean, it is in the book, so it was kind of obvious that we were shooting up north, because it's very, like I said, the book is, it's dialect in the book. Yeah, the Nordic dialect, which is very different from south of Sweden. So there was never a question about not shooting in up north. It would, I think, since the book was popular in Sweden, I think people would have got really angry if I just said, let's shoot it in Copenhagen or Malmö, or it would, I think the story is very much up north story. Norrland, it's called, the area in Sweden.
But like you say, it's also, of course, we will shoot it there, but it is a way of sort of heightening and isolating a story so that you can see more clearly on things, rather than if you're in another kind of environment where you have lots of other things going on. So it's like a clean sheet where you can put up your story to make it more clear and visible. So.
One last question, or okay.
Maybe just a very precise question, because I was very intrigued by the name of the brother, because if I understand well, Bror is brother, so he has no name. It's his function, his family function is his name.
Yeah, exactly. That's. I think it said somewhere in the book that, like, they have a very complicated relationship to both their mother and their father, and that they were named, like, Jana is like, it's not like a really fancy name, and then Bror, well, it's Bror.
But it's both a word, like brother, but it is also a personal name.
It is a name.
It
yeah,
is a
so it
personal
is
name.
actually
Yeah,
a
yeah,
name. Yeah,
it is a name.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, as if you would have frère for a name, but of course there's a double meaning to it. Yeah.
And I was just wondering, we in France are often looking up at Sweden and Scandinavian countries, saying they are, of course, it's cold, but it's a very peaceful, quiet society. Women are really well treated and they're not on strike every day. But with this show, and of course it wasn't the book, but is there also like a desire to go against this cliche, this myth that it's a perfect country?
Oh, it's not a perfect country, first of all, but I think, I mean, we got this question last night at the show and we all had different answers, but to sum it up, I think to speak out about violence against women and incest and the abuse of women will always be important. For us, it was very much about letting Jana free to become a person and to deal with her memories, to come clean and have freedom in her life. But as you said, Karin, it's also a story about violence against, I mean, the father is really harsh on the brother and the animals. But I wish I could say that Sweden is a perfect country for us, but it could be better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.